The AGT studio buzzes with an electric hum long before the cameras start rolling. People shuffle to their seats, chatting excitedly, waving light-up signs, and checking their phones as they wait for the next act. The giant AGT logo glows at the center of the massive stage, its lights shifting from blues to reds, sending soft reflections across the polished floor. Behind that glowing stage, tucked away in a narrow hallway packed with cables and crew members, is Liam Santos, a 16-year-old Filipino teenager from Quezon City. He stands quietly near a silver flight case, pulling at the slightly frayed hem of his jacket. It's not designer, not flashy, just a simple, well-loved jacket his grandfather used to wear when he performed at local fiestas back in the Philippines. Around Liam, chaos fills the backstage, a juggler dropping pins, a dance group practicing one last formation, a magician adjusting his props. Yet Liam stays still, his fingers nervously rolling over the tiny microphone-shaped pendant hanging around his neck. It belonged to his grandfather, the man who taught him his first Elvis song at age 6. "Are you ready, sweetheart?" a producer asks, wearing a headset and holding a clipboard filled with contestant notes. Liam nods, but his voice barely escapes. "Yes, I think so." The producer gives him an encouraging smile, unaware of the storm swirling inside him. For Liam, this isn't just another performance. It's his chance to honor his grandfather, to bring pride to his family back home, and to prove to himself that his voice, shaped by karaoke nights and street singing in Manila, belongs on one of the biggest stages in the world. As he waits for his cue, he closes his eyes, imagining his grandfather beside him. "Anak," he used to say, "your voice will take you places I never reached." For a deep breath, then another. "Liam Santos," the stage manager calls. "You're up next." His heart slams hard against his ribs, but he steps forward. The walk toward the stage feels both endless and too quick. He passes glowing monitors, racks of costumes, coiled wires, and technicians whispering into headsets. With every step, the familiar smell of backstage, metal, dust, and faint perfume, grows stronger, reminding him of all the small stages he once stood on back home. Only this time, the world is watching. He reaches the curtain. The blinding stage lights bleed through the gap. The muffled roar of the audience grows louder. "This is it. Go," the stagehand whispers. Liam steps out. At once, he's swallowed by brightness. The massive AGT theater unfolds before him. Thousands of faces, glittering lights, cameras pivoting to capture every second. He freezes for half a heartbeat, overwhelmed by the sheer size of it all. But the audience sees him, a shy, unfamiliar teen, alone under a spotlight. Murmurs ripple through the crowd. "Who is he? He looks so young. Do you think he can sing?" On the judges' panel, Simon Cowell leans back in his chair, arms folded, assessing Liam with the cool eyes of someone who has seen thousands of hopefuls walk across that very stage. Heidi Klum offers him a warm, encouraging smile. Sofia Vergara tilts her head, studying him. Howie Mandel gives a small wave. Liam walks toward the center X marked on the floor. His footsteps echo lightly, magnified by the silence that has taken over the room. He adjusts the microphone stand, trying not to let his trembling hands show. "Hello," Simon says, his crisp British voice breaking the tension. "What's your name?" I'm Liam," he answers softly, his voice barely carrying through the theater. Simon squints slightly. "A little louder, please." Liam swallows and tries again. "I'm Liam Santos. I'm from the Philippines." For a small round of polite applause rises from the audience. Someone in the back even cheers proudly. Sophia beams. "Oh, from the Philippines. Welcome." Liam smiles nervously, nodding. "How old are you?" Howie asks. 16. The judges exchange quick glances. 16 is young, and he looks even younger under the bright lights. Simon's voice cuts in. "What will you be doing for us today?" Liam presses his fingertips against the microphone and answers with a steadier voice than before. "I will be singing an Elvis Presley song." A few people in the crowd raise their eyebrows. "Are a teenager singing Elvis?" Simon, who knows how easily Elvis covers can fail, sits up a little straighter. "Elvis is a big choice. Why him?" Liam glances down at his pendant, then back at the judges. "He was my grandfather's favorite. He taught me all his songs. He passed away last year, so today I'm singing for him." or the audience softens. A few people go, "Oh." Even Simon's expression changes, just a flicker, but enough to be noticed. Bar Howie nods sympathetically. "That's very sweet. I'm sure he'd be proud you're here." Liam breathes in deeply, once, twice, grounding himself. Simon gestures toward the sound crew. "All right, Liam, let's hear it." The entire room goes silent. No more whispers. No more shuffling. The first soft strums of the guitar fill the theater, a warm, nostalgic melody that instantly evokes memories of Elvis's golden classics. Liam closes his eyes. His hand tightens around the microphone the same way Elvis once held his. The lights dim slightly, creating a halo around him. And in that moment, on the biggest stage he's ever seen, thousands of miles from home with his grandfather's memory beating inside his heart, Liam prepares to sing the song that will change everything. The soft guitar intro floats through the AGT theater like a warm, nostalgic breeze, carrying with it the timeless magic of Elvis Presley. On stage, Liam Santos stands completely still, eyes closed, breathing slow, hands wrapped around the microphone as if it anchors him in place. The audience watches, curious. Some expect nerves to take over. Some expect a typical karaoke-style performance from a shy teen. But the moment Liam opens his mouth, everything changes. His first note drops into the room like a pearl falling into still water, smooth, deep, unexpectedly rich. The sound echoes across the theater with a tone so warm and soulful that a wave of goosebumps ripples through the audience. A woman in the front row gasps. A man in the back lowers his phone in disbelief. Someone whispers, "Oh my God." On the judges' panel, expressions shift instantly. Heidi's eyebrows shoot up, her lips parting in awe. Sophia's hand lifts to her chest, eyes widening. Howie leans all the way forward, mouth hanging open. Simon, who moments before was relaxed and skeptical, sits upright, body tensing as if struck by lightning. His eyes sharpen, his face tightens. He squints slightly, studying Liam as though trying to decode what he's hearing. Because this voice, this impossibly smooth, haunting Elvis-like voice, is coming from a thin, shy, 16-year-old boy. Liam moves softly with the rhythm, not in a forced imitation, but with a natural grace born from years of singing Elvis songs with his grandfather. Each note blooms with depth and emotion, the kind that carries stories inside it. He doesn't just sound like Elvis. He captures the feeling of Elvis, the nostalgia, the heartache, the soul, but there's something else too, something new. Liam's youth gives the song a fresh ache, a raw vulnerability. It's Elvis, but with a young man's trembling hope woven into every note. Gasps continue breaking through the crowd, even the technical crew watching from offstage exchange stunned looks. As the song builds, Liam's voice grows stronger, pushing the boundaries of emotion. His vibrato dances at just the right moments. His tone warms and darkens at the low notes, then rises with beautiful clarity into the higher phrases. For the audience, it feels like time slows down. Even the cameras pause, zooming in on Liam's face, his closed eyes, the sincerity etched into every line of his expression. Halfway through the performance, the chorus arrives, and Liam pours his whole heart into it. Wise men sigh. The crowd erupts with shocked cheers even though the song isn't finished. People are rising from their seats, unstoppable. A group of teenagers in the middle row jump up, hands covering their mouths. A couple embraces tightly, tears forming in their eyes. One elderly woman, clearly an Elvis fan, begins crying quietly, whispering, "I haven't heard a voice like this in 50 years. On stage, Liam doesn't break. His focus remains razor sharp. He sings as if no one else exists, as if this moment is a private conversation between himself and his grandfather's memory. The lights shift subtly, soft golden beams illuminating him like a halo. The backdrop glows warmer. Everything seems to wrap around his voice. Sim. On glances quickly at the other judges, as if silently asking, "Are you hearing what I'm hearing?" Judges nod, stunned. As Liam steps into the bridge, his voice thickens with emotion. His throat tightens. For a second, it seems like he might crack under the weight of the lyrics, but instead, he pushes through with even more power. And then comes the note, the high, sustained note near the end, the one most singers struggle with. Liam doesn't just hit it. He glides into it effortlessly, his voice ringing through the massive theater with a clarity that seems almost unreal. The audience screams. People clap over the music. Some shout, yes. Others stomp their feet. Cameras flash everywhere. And Simon breaks. His eyes widen, genuinely. No skepticism, no sarcasm, no reserved poker face, just pure, stunned disbelief. His jaw loosens, his brows rise. He leans so far forward that his elbows almost slip off the desk. This is not the reaction he gives lightly. The music begins to fade. Liam holds the final note with perfect control, letting it drift into silence like a feather. Then, nothing. A breathless stillness falls over the room as Liam lowers the microphone and opens his eyes. Sweat glistens faintly on his brow. His chest rises and falls, the adrenaline crashing in waves. He doesn't know what to expect. For a heartbeat, maybe two, the world stands frozen. Then, boom. The entire AGT theater detonates with applause. People leap out of their seats. The judges stand, all four of them, pushing back their chairs. Some in the audience cry openly. Others shout his name even though it's only been announced once. Liam, oh my God, that voice! Liam flinches slightly at the eruption, overwhelmed but glowing with disbelief. Sophia waves her arms, shouting over the roar. That was incredible. Heidi has tears in her eyes. Howie claps rapidly, shaking his head like he can't process what he witnessed. And Simon doesn't clap. He just stares. Not because he isn't impressed, far from it. He stares because he's trying to understand how a 16-year-old from the Philippines just delivered a world-class, heart-stopping, Elvis-level performance that felt as though the king himself had stepped into the room. The applause continues, longer, louder, more emotional than anything Liam has ever experienced. On stage, he stands trembling, tears building at the corners of his eyes. He covers his mouth with his hand, overwhelmed. This wasn't supposed to happen. He just wanted to sing for his grandfather. He never expected the world to stop for him. But in this moment, everyone, every judge, every audience member, every viewer watching at home knows they have just witnessed something unforgettable, something historic, something once in a generation. The thunderous applause fills the America's Got Talent theater like a tidal wave, loud, endless, overflowing with raw emotion. Golden lights shimmer across the faces of thousands of people on their feet, many still wiping away tears after witnessing one of the most unexpected, soul-shaking performances in the show's history. On stage, Liam Santos, the 16-year-old Filipino teenager from Quezon City, stands frozen in place. His hands tremble, his chest rises and falls in uneven breaths. He looks like he's caught somewhere between disbelief and a dream, trying desperately to process what he has just done. Behind him, the massive LED screen glows with his name in bold letters. The stage lights warm his skin, making him look like he's bathed in sunlight as applause continues rolling over him in waves. He brings one shaking hand to his face, trying to hide the tears welling in his eyes, but the emotion breaks through. He lets out a shaky laugh, overwhelmed. The audience catches this tiny, human moment and cheers even louder. The judges are still on their feet. Howie is clapping as if his hands might break, looking at everyone around him like, "Did we all witness that?" Heidi fans herself dramatically, tears sparkling in her eyes. Sophia has both hands on her heart, nodding through the applause with a soft smile, visibly touched. And then there's Simon Cowell. He doesn't move for a long moment, not because he isn't impressed, but because he is far beyond impressed. He stands still, eyes locked on Liam with an expression rarely seen on his famously guarded face. It's not just shock, it's awe, it's respect, it's something deeper, like he has seen a star being born right in front of him. Slowly, Simon pushes his chair back and rises to his feet. The crowd roars even louder, because everyone knows what that means. Simon standing is rare. Simon standing in silence is historic. Liam sees this and gasps, covering his mouth again, unable to stop crying. He bows his head slightly, overwhelmed. Those backstage, producers, technicians, other contestants, peek out from the curtains, watching history unfold. Many of them are emotional, too. When the applause finally begins to settle just enough for voices to be heard, Simon steps closer to his microphone and speaks. But not immediately. He pauses, looking at Liam, not with judgment, but with tenderness. The lights catch the faintest smile tugging at the corner of his mouth. Then, in a quiet but powerful voice that carries through the entire theater, he says, "Liam, that might be better than Elvis." The crowd explodes again, even louder than before. People scream. Someone faints in the back row. Cameras flash everywhere. It is chaos, but the good kind, the magical kind. Liam's knees buckle slightly. He covers his face with both hands, shaken to his core. Tears spill freely down his cheeks. He tries to speak, boo. No words come out. Just a choked sound full of gratitude and disbelief. Simon continues, his voice still warm, still surprisingly gentle. "You didn't imitate him. You honored him. You brought something new to a legend. And I'm telling you now, this is one of the most amazing auditions we've ever had on this show." Heidi nods vigorously, jumping in. "That was beyond beautiful. I felt that in my heart. You have an incredible gift." Sophia adds, "You're 16, and you sing with the emotion of someone who's lived 1,000 lives. That was special, really special." Howie gestures broadly at the crowd. "Look around you, Liam. Look, you made the whole world react like this. That's not normal, that's extraordinary." Liam finally lowers his hands, still teary, still trembling. He tries to speak into the microphone, but his voice cracks. "To thank you. I just wanted to make my grandfather proud." The audience melts again. People shout supportive words. "We love you, Liam. You did it. For your Lolo, Filipino pride." Simon hears this, and something shifts in his expression. He leans forward, his eyes softening even further. "Liam," he says, "your grandfather is not just proud. He is smiling right now. And I'll tell you something else." He places both hands on the judge's desk. "You deserve this." He steps back. The music swells. Those familiar aged rising strings that only play when something big is about to happen. The entire theater tenses. Liam's eyes widen. The cameras zoom in. Simon looks up. And then, boom! Simon slams his hand onto the golden buzzer. Golden confetti explodes from the ceiling, pouring like a shining waterfall over the entire stage. The crowd screams with pure joy. Heidi jumps. Sophia claps and laughs. Howie fists the air triumphantly. Liam collapses to his knees in the middle of the stage, sobbing, hands pressed again. His face, shoulders shaking as gold rains down around him. It is a perfect moment, a cinematic moment, a moment that will go viral in hours. He kneels under the confetti with his grandfather's microphone pendant glinting against his chest, catching the golden light. Simon walks up onto the stage, a rare move, and stands beside him. When Liam looks up through tears, Simon offers a hand to help him stand. Liam takes it. Simon leans close and says softly, "Just for him. Remember this moment. You just made AGT history." The audience erupts again. The confetti keeps falling. The music grows louder and more triumphant. And Liam stands there under the storm of gold, a boy from Quezon City who came to honor his grandfather and ended up becoming America's newest sensation.